Hello everyone, welcome back to Slow English Learning. We're so happy you're here with us today. Hi everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today's lesson is going to make English feel much easier. A lot of learners worry about grammar. They see long lists of tenses and complicated rules, and they feel stressed. I understand that feeling. Many grammar books teach 12 or more tenses, and it can seem overwhelming. But here's some good news. In everyday conversation, native speakers use a small group of tenses most of the time. That's right. Today we'll focus on the 5 tenses that can help you communicate in most real-life situations. By the end of this lesson, you'll understand when to use these tenses and how they help you speak naturally. And we'd love to hear from you. Which tense do you find most difficult? Leave a comment and tell us. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Slow English Learning for more easy English lessons. Great! Let's begin with the first and most important tense. The first tense is the simple present. This tense is used for habits, routines, facts, and things that are generally true. The formula is very simple. Subject plus verb plus object. For example, I drink coffee every morning. She works in a hospital. They play soccer on weekends. Water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. We use the simple present when we talk about our lives, our jobs, and our daily activities. If someone asks, "What do you do?" you might answer, "I teach English," or "I work in an office." Notice that we don't say, "I am teach English." That's a very common mistake. Exactly. The correct sentence is, I teach English. Let's look at negative forms. The structure is subject plus do not or does not plus base verb. I don't like spicy food. She doesn't drive. We don't watch much television. Now let's ask our listeners a question. What do you do every morning? Try answering out loud. Say a complete sentence using the simple present. Here's my answer. I drink tea and read emails every morning. And mine is, I go for a short walk before work. The simple present is really the tense of everyday life. Can you describe your daily routine in one sentence? Write it in the comments. So to summarize, we use the simple present for habits, routines, facts, and general truths. Now let's move to the second tense, the present continuous. This tense describes actions happening now or around the current period of time. The formula is subject plus am, is, or are plus verb ing. I am studying English right now. She is talking on the phone. They are watching a movie. One important difference is this. Simple present describes regular actions, while present continuous describes actions in progress. Compare these examples. I work in a bank. That's my job. I am working from home today. That's happening right now. Native speakers also use the present continuous for future arrangements. For example, I am meeting my friend tomorrow. We are having dinner tonight. The plan is already arranged, so the present continuous sounds natural. Let's practice together. What are you doing right now? Maybe you can say, I am listening to a podcast, or I am learning English. Excellent. Speaking out loud helps build confidence. Here's a useful tip. First, look for words like now, currently, or at the moment. Second, check if the action is temporary. Third, Remember that future arrangements can also use this tense. Leave a comment using the present continuous. Tell us what you are doing this week. Quick review. Present continuous equals actions in progress and arranged future plans. The third tense is the simple past. This is the tense we use for finished actions in the past. The formula is subject plus past verb plus object. I visited my grandmother last weekend. She watched a great movie yesterday. We traveled to another city last month. This tense is perfect for storytelling. Whenever you tell someone about yesterday, last year, or a past experience, you'll probably use the simple past. Many learners worry about irregular verbs, and that's normal. For example, go becomes went, eat becomes ate, see becomes saw. You don't need to memorize every irregular verb immediately. Start with the most common ones and learn them gradually. Let's create a small dialogue. What did you do yesterday? I went to the supermarket and bought some fruit. Very natural and very common. Here's a speaking challenge. Tell a short story about your last weekend. Just 2 or 3 sentences are enough. Remember, communication is more important than perfection. To summarize, the simple past helps us talk about completed actions and tell stories. Now we're ready for the fourth tense, the present perfect. Many learners think this tense is difficult, but it becomes easier when you understand its purpose. The formula is subject plus have or has plus past participle. I have visited Paris. She has learned Spanish. We have seen that movie. We often use this tense when the exact time is not important. Imagine someone asks, "Have you ever tried Japanese food?" You might answer, "Yes, I have." Notice that you don't mention a specific time. But if you say, "I tried it last year," then you switch to the simple past. That's one of the most important differences. The present perfect connects the past to the present. It's like a bridge between then and now. We also use it for recent events. Scientists have discovered a new species. The company has launched a new product. The action happened recently and is still relevant. Let's practice. Have you ever traveled abroad? Have you ever met someone famous? Have you ever learned another language? Try answering each question out loud and write one present perfect sentence about your life in the comments. Quick review. Present perfect is used for experiences, recent events, and situations connected to the present. The fifth and final tense is the simple future with will. This tense is useful for predictions, promises, and decisions made at the moment of speaking. The formula is subject plus will plus base verb. I will call you later. It will rain tomorrow. We will help you. Notice how simple it is. Native speakers use will all the time when making quick decisions. Imagine your friend asks, "Can you help me tomorrow?" You think for a moment and say, "Yes, I will help you." That decision happened right then. Compare that with, "I am helping you tomorrow." That sounds like a plan arranged earlier. Both are correct, but they have slightly different meanings. Here's a quick activity. Complete this sentence. Next year, I will. Maybe you will travel. Maybe you will improve your English. Maybe you will start a new hobby. Whatever your answer is, say it out loud. Review time. We now have 5 powerful tenses: simple present, present continuous, simple past, present perfect, and simple future. Let's talk about some common mistakes. Don't worry, everyone makes them. Mistake number 1. I am study English. Correct. I study English. Why is it wrong? Because the simple present does not need am. Mistake number 2. Yesterday I go to school. Correct. Yesterday I went to school. Since the action happened in the past, we need the past form. Mistake number 3. I have seen him yesterday. Correct. I saw him yesterday. We use the simple past when a specific time is mentioned. Mistake number 4. I will meeting my friend tomorrow. Correct. I will meet my friend tomorrow. After will, always use the base verb. I once heard someone say, yesterday I will go shopping. That sounds like time travel grammar. Exactly. But mistakes like that are part of learning. Don't be afraid of them. Every mistake teaches you something. Practice these corrections and your English will become much more natural. Remember, mistakes are normal and progress matters more than perfection. Let's finish with a quick interactive exercise. Choose the correct sentence. Situation 1. You're talking about your job. Option A. I am work in a hospital. Option B. I work in a hospital. Option B is correct. Situation 2. Right now you are eating lunch. Option A. I am eating lunch. Option B. I eat lunch. Option A is better because the action is happening now. Situation 3. You visited London last year. Option A. I have visited London last year. Option B. I visited London last year. Option B is correct because we mention a specific time. Situation 4. You make a promise. Option A. I will help you. Option B. I helping you. Option A is correct. Great job! Try creating your own examples using all 5 tenses. Speaking out loud is one of the best ways to improve. Real communication is more important than perfect grammar. Today we learned something very important. You do not need every English tense to communicate effectively. We covered 5 tenses that native speakers use constantly in everyday life. First, the simple present for habits and facts. Second, the present continuous for actions happening now and future arrangements. Third, the simple past for completed actions and stories. Fourth, the present perfect for experiences and connections between the past and present. Fifth, the simple future with will for predictions, promises, and quick decisions. If you focus on these 5 tenses, your English will become more confident and more natural. We'd love to hear from you. Which of these 5 tenses do you use most often? Leave a comment with 1 sentence about yourself. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep learning. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Slow English Learning. Thanks for spending time with us today. We're proud of your progress. See you in the next lesson. See you next time.